gonna argue with me when I say you're the new general. Now it's your job to make it more than an empty title. By the way, you should have one of these flare guns. You can use it to signal for help from any nearby Minutemen. If you want to help out around here at all, talk to Sturgis. I'm sure he'd be glad for all the help he can get. I've got something a bit different for you. Our scout. Once you clear it out, set up a radio beacon to let settlers know about it. Before you know it, we'll have a thriving new farm instead of wasteland. We'll take back the Commonwealth, one piece at a time. What do you need, General?
I have plans here to build a signal interceptor that can get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my baby.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing, what exactly does it do?
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? For real? Wow. That would explain a lot about how the Institute manages to operate. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix. Here's where they are. I hope you can help them. We've got to show people they can count on the Minutemen again.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow. What a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
Either it is, or we end up building one hell of a paperweight.
Well, whoever wrote this does seem to know what they're talking about. Could be a genius or totally insane. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Just tell me what we need so I can get started.
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. While you're working on that, keep in mind, like if you had a spare nuke, and it's going to be...
Sturgis.
You willing to do some work?
I love work. I could sit and watch it all day.
Well, for starters, we could use some real beds. We've been sleeping on the ground for too long.
Do I look like a carpenter to you?
I don't know what you look like. You said?
I'd be glad to help.
Okay. Just make sure we can... There's a workbench over there.
Nothing I hate more than Raider scumbags. If you run into any, put a few down. For me.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
There's a giant metal pizza sitting on the ground now, so yeah.
I was just asking. No need for the snide remarks. I think I got the rest of this contraption figured out. Here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
I'd better get started.
Okay. One thing to keep in mind while you're... I'll see you over at the building.
Uh-huh. Got everything in place. We'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid.